Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today we are taking a look at an OG Xbox. So not in video form, but I made another CPU upgrade, as you see there. There's our Pentium 3, and it works. So if I plug it in, it should still turn on. It was the last time. It does that because reasons. I'll show you in a second. But if we look slightly over there, you see it boots to Xbox. It's not going to go any further because there ain't anything else plugged in, but it boots. So the reason why it's turning on automatically is one, my CPU caps are bulged through the rework, so I need to replace these. Two, over here, well, there isn't really anything wrong over there, but I still have my clock cap that I need to remove, which is, I believe it's this guy over here, and I just need to clean up that area a little bit. It looked kind of funky. Haven't done my RAM yet, so no RAM over there. But overall, what I want to do today is, I haven't done one of these actually ever yet. So I got me a Project Stellar, which is the add-on mod chip for these. So usually over here, OpenXenium, Aladdin, whatever it may be, and an Xbox HD Plus. So in my last video you guys saw, I did a 1.6 version. This is a 1.4, and in the 1.6 I just did a mod chip. So in this one I want to remove this, put it in a Stellar HDMI, and see what the difference is. We'll go into that a bit later, but yeah, for now, what we're going to do is install the mod chip, install the HDMI port, do our voltage mods over here, remove these, replace these caps, ram it up, and remove the clock cap and all that fun stuff. And yeah, I'll just put you guys up and we'll do that now, I suppose. So when you get yourself your own Stellar, in the box you'll see a few things. So this is the chip itself, the Stellar. Your pin header screw, a bit for, I guess, the screw, no, a standoff for the screw, and your LPC header if you have a 1.6, and of course some stickers. So I guess the first step is you need to update this. So I think there's like a specific page you gotta go to plug this into computer and update the firmware. So I'm gonna do that first. But if you haven't seen it, which I haven't, this is what it looks like. It's a pretty big, chunky guy, and I suppose it fits exactly in there, like that. So first step, let me update this. Alright, so updating this out was pretty simple. All I did was plug it in via USB-C to my computer, add it over to stellar.megahertz.com, hit connect via USB on my USB, and I need to patch it with, you need to patch it with a 5838 BIOS. So you just gotta figure that part out, and once you do that, you basically install it and you're good to go. So this guy is good to go on that part. The next part we need to do is simply install our pin headers over here. Straightforward to do. All you gotta do is, on these boards, the pin headers are clean or clear. So as you see there, it's empty. All you do is you get these pin headers that come with the Stellar. As you see there, I just placed it flat. You just line it up so there's a missing hole over here. Pin header also is missing one there. You just kind of drop it in, and basically on the bottom side, as you see there, let me go over here. Basically there, and I'm just gonna tack one point each, so like this point and that point, just to hold it in place, and then we'll come back and touch it up. That's basically how you install the QSB. Pretty simple, straightforward, nothing crazy there. Then all you gotta do is on the other side, whenever you are ready to install it, this take you back up. The Project Stellar would literally just sit in place like so, and your mod chip install is done. I've never used one, so I don't know. Yeah, what else? Another cool little trinket that comes with the board is a little DL flex that goes from like here to like one of these points here. Basically, what it looks like is, I'm trying to like grab it for you guys. It's this little small flex cable that goes basically. There and there. It touches that point that you see there. You would basically tack it down there and here. So I'm just trying to line it up and then we'll tack it down. And there you go. When it comes to your Project Stellar, you're basically done at that point. Everything is soldered. You would just plug in your Stellar and you'd be good to go. But yeah, from here we're gonna do the HDMI port next. So yeah, gonna plug that in and do all that fun stuff, and then yeah, I'll show you as much as I can on camera. I'm probably gonna take you into microscope view, so we'll do that now. Actually, before doing the HDMI, I want to do few things. So I figure that's the hardest part. So I want to remove this guy, our clock cap. If you see there, caused a little bit of damage. So I'm just gonna move that, and to move that, it's pretty simple. You basically just heat up these 2 points. Oh. I do it that way. I heat up these 2 points and I just pop it off. So yeah, we'll do that now. I don't know where. Let's see. Remove the clock cap, and that's basically how the area looks. So I'm gonna have to give that a pretty good cleaning, but nothing suburban alcohol can't clean up. And this is the bottom of it. So yeah, as you can see, it definitely did some damage. So I'm going to come back, clean that. And then the next things I want to do is, let's see if we can get it in the frame. These guys. So there are these 3 CPU caps, 1, 2, 3, that are bulged that will cause issues. So I'm gonna replace those, and then over here for the CPU mod, there's a voltage mod I have to do for this. So I'm gonna do that while I'm here. So these 3, this is next. While we do this, I would like to thank today's sponsor, PCB Way. From prototyping to production, PCB Way delivers top quality printed circuit boards with precision and speed. Streamlined orders, limitless possibilities. Whether you're a pro or a hobbyist like myself, PCB Way takes your projects to new heights. Elevate your designs today with PCB Way. Start now by visiting PCBWay.com. Alright, so I carried out the stuff needed for the CPU, so sort of included it, but over here, adjust my resistors. I'll leave a link to all this so you don't really, over here adjusted this, and then over here, turn this sideways, ran a jumper. That's all for the voltage to get this guy working properly. So now the fun part is removing this. There are many ways to do it. I like to use this stuff, Chip Quick. So it's basically low melt solder that comes in sticks, and what I like to do is apply low melt to each one of these points, and then you just hit it with some hot air, and it basically falls right off. So, like I said, pretty straightforward. All we're gonna do is apply a little bit of flux on all those points, and I just go and I tin it. So, like so, on each one of these points. Okay, and basically once we have that done, I'm going to try to show this as best as I can. I'm going to have to figure out the angle. But I'm going to use my hot air wand, hit it with like 350 degrees, and it should just fall off. So let me figure out an angle for this real quick. Alrighty, something like this should work. So like I said, I'm just going to power it on and get going. So after getting the AV port removed, I did the bottom work required, which is just running 2 jumpers for the sound and HD, I think how it is. From here we're going to be working focus chip side, so right here running the flex cable, so we're using 1.0 to 1.5 flex cable, so I'm going to switch to microscope view, and you'll just kind of watch me do that from here on out, and we'll come back once we're done. Alrighty, so we're back. The Stellar is installed, so as you see on the left, there's the mod chip. On the top is the HDMI. Same console. I'm just going to power it on to show you that it's working. So that's going to power on first, and then you'll see a green light. Fans go like that, that's fine. And then once it's done there, if you look on the screen, you'll see the same thing. There we go. I'm just going to boot up to Stellar OS. You'll see press start to enter setup because I don't have anything plugged in. So yeah, from here, next step is I'm going to install the RAM off screen. We're going to put it back together and come back with it fully set up, and I will, we'll see what we'll do after that with it. But yeah, we'll be back shortly. Alrighty, and this is the 1.4 gigahertz 1.6 console on the top. So this one was the one you saw me in the last video that I made, last few videos. This one is running a OpenXenium on Prometheus OS with the latest version of Xbox for gamers. Same hard drive and stuff, 2 terabyte SSD, configured the same way, but the difference here is for this chip there is no option like the Stellar to patch games. You would have to use a third-party app on your computer to patch the games. Otherwise, this is kind of how the experience is on an unpatched game, which is what people usually talk about. And what you're hearing is the fan at 50%. So the game is loading, as you see. It's pretty more faster here. This is running at uncapped using the CPU. From my testing, I think it's about 13 seconds to get from the loading screen to the main menu. And if I just start the mission, you'll see that it loads super fast. Other things feels fast. So the one thing about these 1.4 GHz consoles that I should mention now is you should set your fans at least 50% or higher, 50-60%, which is what you hear going on in the background. Just because if you set it lower, you let the console control it, it might interfere with your thermals and console overheat, might kill CPU, blah 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 blah. So keeping it at 50%. This is my mic. My mic is to the left of it, so while it's loading I'll show you. My mic is right there, so like probably less than a foot away, so that's what you're hearing. But yeah, this is the console loading Halo. It's just in general faster if you don't patch it. So we'll let it run a little bit, and yeah, that's just kind of the difference once again between using a Stellar and another chip. As of today, early April 2024, Stellar has the 3 settings that you can enable for CPU consoles that kind of do the patching on the fly, I suppose. Where on these other non-Stellar chips, unfortunately, as of right now, with the OS, even on Prometheus, there is no setting currently in Prometheus or BIOS XBMC for gamers, which is only patched to set it. You have to use a third-party app on your PC to patch the games for the 1.4 gigahertz and 128 MB RAM. Some games it works, some it doesn't. I tested it on both Halos, it worked. Tested it on Jet Set Radio Future, didn't work. Tested it on Metal Slug, worked, and it worked on Morrowind. So yeah, that's just kind of the differences. But other than that, yeah, we're going to go back to the Stellar console. Now you see how it works here.
Ring and desecrate it with their filthy footsteps.
Noble hierarchs, surely you understand that once the parasite attacked...
Alrighty, and here we are with the final product. So this is the 1.4 console you saw me make with HDMI and Stellar. Same build as the 1.6 console, so 2 terabyte hard drive, all that stuff. Might add controller LEDs, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll power it on. Just to show you guys that it's working, I'm just going to boot up into Stellar OS, and once again, fans are set this way to protect the CPU. If I hit start, it'll enter the setup mode, and the useful part about the Stellar, it has 3 main settings that kind of benefit the CPU versus using a non-Stellar chip, which is for the non-Stellar one, like I showed, you would have to patch each game, and for this one you don't. So as you see, 1400 megahertz, 136 RAM, CPU temp is 35, fan speed's 50, you can go 50 or higher, and it has a 2 terabyte hard drive. So if we go into, I think it's system, nope, enhancements, is it? Yes. So within enhancements, there are these 3 settings I have turned on. Stellar Enhanced Game Compatibility, experimental for CPU upgraded consoles. Extended CPU microcode support, automatically load microcode on boot for CPU upgraded consoles. And extended retail PFN support, this is just to turn it on if you did the 128 RAM. But these 2 help with not having to patch games. So if I exit, I'm just gonna save settings fine. And then it's gonna reboot again. But this time you'll notice that it's gonna reboot into just the regular, if we don't press start, it'll reboot into dash point offset, which is XBMC. So the same exact, quite literally the same exact setup as the other console. Only difference here is the chip. So this chip's using Stellar OS, the other chip was using Prometheus with SirBIOS with XBMC for gamers. This one does not have SirBIOS or Prometheus because it's a Stellar chip. So once we boot into XBMC for gamers, I will select just this random profile I have. And once we're in the dashboard, I will load up Halo 2, which is the same one you saw me load up the last time. There's quite literally nothing on this hard drive. I think I might have like my default applications. There's no emulators, no games, no homebrew. And then Halo 2 comes up on the top there, and if I press start, it will launch Halo 2, and I will be quiet. Now, if I did my testing correctly, this should have been around 20-ish, 21-ish seconds, which is a little bit more than the last one when it isn't patched. And then if I go to campaign, new campaign, the heroic, and I just start. Loading times will also be a little bit slower here, but that's because with those 2 settings on, it's actually at normal speed, so it isn't as fast.
There was only one chip.
One? Are you sure?
Yes. They called it the Pillar of Autumn.
Why was it not destroyed?
So other than those changes, I mean, if you were in the
As
mood
we set
to
fire.
patch game yourself, which isn't too difficult. Like I mentioned, it's just literally
I followed with all the ships in my
a Windows app that you open and you patch the default .xb file for 128 RAM and 1.4 gigahertz. It'll run pretty much the same. The other cool thing is, I believe I can
Yet the humans were able to evade your
upload textures or a 720p pack to make this look better, but I also do think I can also just do that on the other console with the
Surely you understand that
Xbox
once
Station.
the parasite
So, yeah.
There will be order in this council.
You were right to focus your attention on the flood. But this demon, this Master Chief,
By the time I learned the demon's intent, there was nothing I could do.
But yeah, that's more or less it. That was installing the Stellar on this console. Stellar chip was good. Once again, if you're not good at soldering, the HDMI might be a bit harder to remove the AV port and solder it into the output chip, the focus chip. But if you're good with that, then it shouldn't be too difficult for you. As always, I guess if you like this kind of stuff, leave a comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, it's always useful. Questions, if you have any, I'll try my best to answer them. If you know any more information about these things and maybe I got it wrong, with the non-stellar chips, let me know, and I'll gladly run it on another 1.4 GHz console I'll make, and I'll give it a shot. So yeah, you know, we're all learning, we're all living, and we'll all figure it out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
I can't fall to sleep, my mind just keeps